What up, what up, what up? This is your boy Oshin. This is Oshin's View. You already know who I'm in the building with. Little brother Devin Epps.
What's good?
Willie Negro on the boards.
What up, what up?
Go New York, go New York, go.
You got that
Knicks have tied up the series.
Goddamn right.
1-1. But by the time this airs, it might be 2-1. Or 3-1 Knicks.
Right. You never know.
Who knows?
You never know. Tell you who won't be winning no games. Fake ass Jimmy Butler. And, no, I can't even front like that. It's gonna be a good series. It's gonna be a good series. I can't.
You know what would be crazy with that? Like, we'll get to that, but the crazy thing is, it's a lot of stars out. My issue is all this technology, all this medicine. Are they not making men the way they used to make? Because I would think it would be less injuries and all this other stuff and low management. Because them dudes back in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, dudes was playing. Like, you had to have broken limbs and things like that. These dudes be like, I'm just not feeling it today. Yeah. And next thing you know, they're not playing.
Yeah, it's a different technology these days, and it was also I believe like the Iron Man mentality is kind of gone from sports. Like there are no Cal Ripken Juniors. You don't really hear about guys who kind of show up and work every day. Mainly those guys that you hear play 75 plus games are your role players. Like your stars are sitting out for specific reasons like this, like to be ready for the playoffs.
Shout out to the Joker, because he be playing like.
Oh, he be playing.
Giannis.
Right, I don't want to start with sports, but
yeah.
Niggas be more athletic now than before. And the Joker don't get injured because he's not.
He's not athletic? Yes. Wow.
He's nice as hell, though.
That sounds racist.
But I'm trying. I just don't know, because I'm gonna go with the other one for a little bit, because somebody in the barbershop tried to say the same thing, and I'm looking like that. You can't have it both ways. You can't be like, we're more athletic, we're more, because for the same reasons why you get into certain car accidents and things like that, you got the side foam and all this other stuff coming out. Mm-hmm. Like, people aren't dying in those kind of crashes anymore, things like that, head-on collisions. Of course, you can always go out. But my whole point is, just because things are more athletic and more, you would expect for less to happen. You know what I'm saying? In terms of protection, like they should be stronger, built better, and all this other stuff. But yet these dudes, you tap them on their wrist and they fall. But we'll get to that part of the segment in a second. Who I don't want to let off the hook. Okay. And I'm going to be fair to work, because we're going to talk about it. Eboni K Williams.
Here we go.
This bitch.
This woman.
This woman.
But
I guess. Some of them aren't women. All right, they can't all be women.
Hey yo, don't start with violence.
I can't start with violence. All right, she started it. She started. But okay, go ahead.
So her defense, she was I guess she was doing a show or something on Ayanna Van Zant's. Either it was her show or maybe Ayanna was the guest. I don't really know. All I know is I saw the clip.
All right.
Yeah. The clip that went viral that everybody's seen. Mm-hmm. And Ayanna asked her, would you date a bus driver? She played around with it for a minute, and then she was like, no, unless he owns the bus. Well, first off, there's a few things, a lot of things we're going to unpack with that. First off, that just sounds crazy to me just from the top. Like, because ain't nobody just owning buses. Like, nobody wants to bring that up. Like, we let her get away with that kind of answer. I won't date a bus driver unless he owns the bus. So when she said that, I know me personally, I was like, so does she mean he has to own the company?
Right.
Because man. I don't know.
I probably think that's what she means. That's probably what she meant. Otherwise, it would just be crazy. I'm gonna give her the benefit of it.
Like, he got to own Freight-Line, like the bus company.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
who make the buses?
I'm just saying, I know my fair share, maybe a smaller portion than a lot of people, but probably a little bigger than most, the average person. Mm-hmm. I've never heard nobody just owning no bus. Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit just sound wild to me. You own a bus. But anyway, let's get past that. Then, I don't know if Ayanna really, dug in her and everything. Doesn't sound like she did, but I tell you who did do. Mm-hmm. Social media.
Oh, yeah.
They're judge, jury, executioner.
Facts.
And she made the comment, and for me, because I don't want to dominate this portion just yet, when she said it, the first thing I said was, "Here we go again. Here we go again." Mm-hmm. And so I waited for a while because I looked at a lot of women on my timelines, their responses to it and everything, and they went exactly down the part of the rabbit hole that I thought they were going to go down. That's her standards. Mm-hmm. Every time I hear a woman say, "Why do men get mad because of my standards?" and this, that, and the third, it just makes it cringeworthy, because why don't women ever say it for what it really is? It's your preference. And they confuse the two, not sometimes, all the time.
All the time.
Because
it's all the same thing.
This is the whole thing. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. It's clearly not.
Right.
So, and I want y'all to jump in, but let me clear up for the ladies. A standard of holding somebody to that standard means every single guy has to at least have that in his repertoire. Mm-hmm. Right. A preference is the good locks Dev might have. Willie Negro's hair. Maybe my waves. We talk about just looks and stuff. Mm-hmm. We all doing different jobs. Those are preference, things you prefer.
Right.
But don't tell me these are your standards when we've watched you mess with bum-ass niggas that never had none of those things. Right. Every dude watching this right now, because I got it, because I don't want to kill the women, but they gonna get some shots today. Every dude that is watching this right now has tried to deal with a woman, and we assumed that her standards were so high. And it was just like, yo, and we went and pretty much broke the bank ourselves. Not saying you went broke, but you went extra. You took her to Chez Maurice's.
Chez Maurice.
Do this, you did.
Can't go wrong with Chez Maurice.
You did a few things,
right,
because you wanted to make it a great impression.
Of course.
And let's just say, for whatever reason, you didn't GTD.
Oh no!
But then, not just that night, you just never got it.
Right.
But then, maybe a month go by, maybe 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. You happen to know a guy that took that exact same woman out. This dude ain't got no job. He up here scamming, doing whatever. He took her to Stoko's.
Yes, he did.
And he knocked it down that night. And the first thing we're thinking to ourselves, where were the standards when it came to him? So what are these women really talking about? I'm leaving. What is Eboni K Williams about? Because she went on the Breakfast Club and she started backtracking. Shout out to my man DJ Envy.
Oh yeah.
He got in her.
Yeah, he let her have it.
He let her have it.
He let her have it.
And what makes it so crazy is she tried to backtrack. She started backsliding, but she was so deep in that she still had to kind of stay there. Now the thing,
eat that one.
Now the thing about it is this: when you call somebody, we talk about it on the show before, asking somebody if they're average. I've only met one person in my life that has ever called themselves average, and
was it a woman?
I was a guy.
Oh,
it was a guy, but he didn't say it putting himself down. I respected him saying it because the way, let me preference it, the way he said it, he was just kind of like, it's nothing extra about me. He still had his level of confidence with him, but he kind of was like, the conversation started off when he said to himself, I asked him, are you more leader or follower? And he said, I'm kind of more follower. And he said it. He was like, I'm kind of more follower. He said, I'm not follower to the tip of, well, whatever somebody say do, I'm going to do. He was like, I pretty much do what the group say, but if it doesn't work for me at all, I won't do it.
Right.
He said, I'm not the one to lead the group.
Okay.
So I respected that. So you got women out here that are always talking about, her vision was, I want people to not live in mediocrity.
Right. That was
and all this other stuff. And when I was watching the clip, the more she kept burying herself, the first thing I was thinking to myself was, fear doesn't inspire. Ridicule doesn't inspire. Like you just that's not how you get across to people.
I want to examine this average thing because Like, because the one of the things she said on, she was real literal about the terms that she used. And my thing is, I just don't think it's nothing wrong with average. You see what I'm saying? I think that a lot of women, I think that she is kind of maybe the reason, the quintessential beautiful woman that's going to be single.
Yeah.
Because she puts herself in a hole. And it's not just her. There's a lot of beautiful women pigeonhole themselves and trying to get an above average mate. You see what I'm saying? And I often say this. The reason I wanted to examine the average is because I used to have a saying that I used to say back in college all the time. Black women, a lot of black women tend to not respect the average guy. So when you look outside of black women, you'll see a lot of beautiful, women that are not black, with just the average manager down at the store, the average plumber, the bus driver, and they be living pretty decent lives. And in a lot of cases, these bus drivers may turn into somebody who owns a trucking company or something like that. But a lot of black women, especially now, especially with social media and the media will portray, it's just like it's something wrong with being average. Something wrong with making
consistent money,
40 to 100K.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's something wrong. You fall in that area. You're not worthy of a beautiful woman or a good woman or a submissive woman,
right,
or something like that. You have to be making exceptional money, millions of dollars, to deserve or to get a beautiful woman or a submissive woman or a woman that can cater to kind of your needs and stuff like that. Yeah. But my thing is, most people are just average people.
Yeah.
I think that people look at themselves as above average, way too much.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with just being an average guy. I mean, you're going to be exceptional in some categories. You see what I'm saying? But I may be exceptional in the bed, but I may not have all the money. You know what I mean? I may be an exceptional support system or physically a protector, but I may not have all the other things. And I think that you kind of pigeonhole yourself into a corner when you say, well, I wouldn't date a bus driver. First of all, how much bus drivers make? Right. If you drive for the city, you making good money. You might make 6 figures.
Question is this, and I want Dev to chime in on this. Is this, let's just call it brass tacks, is this a black and white thing? Because my thing is this. The reason why I'm saying that, and I want him to answer, of course. Mm-hmm. This is the problem I have with that. I'm getting tired of having these conversations about black men, but then they're running to the white counterparts, assuming that this is what it is. I, too, it used to be brainwashed, assuming all white people are rich. This was when I was a lot younger and stuff. But they got money, they got resources, they got this, that, and the third. But our black women are taking a lot less from supposed ones that are up, but then giving us they ass to kiss and certain a lot of things.
Yeah. So, I mean, but, kind of back to what Will was saying about, about beautiful women feeling like they deserve, like delusional has no color, no race. Like, just beautiful women in general think that they deserve more. And
they might
maybe. If you're just bringing beautiful, you don't deserve more. But even furthermore, what you said about how, you may be great at one thing and terrible at another. All of that regresses back to average. Like,
right.
We're all fucking average. Some of us may have more money than others. Some of us, maybe, play basketball or football or something better than others. But we all are deficient somewhere. So I'm thinking that that's kind of where envy was coming from with that, right, because it's a lot of average motherfuckers.
Right.
And when you talk down to them, your message, even if you got the right message, you're not going to get across.
I think that women, some women, kind of confuse, in these times of social media, confuse average with below average.
Yeah. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Major like, key.
I'm not saying you need a bum.
Right.
I'm not saying go get the guy that's just going to sit on the couch. Y'all said it. She said, I would date a bus driver. How does he make me feel?
Right.
Is he kind to his mother?
Right.
No, I want you to go, but the funny thing was that when a lot of people, women, when they took Ayana when she said it, she's just saying that to be politically correct. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that either, because the whole thing about, like you said, with this average and below average thing, there's a difference. Like you said, there's a difference between somebody not doing anything. To me, that's a bum.
Yeah.
Man or woman, if you're not doing anything to try to progress, whatever your version of progression is, that's a bum. What I'm saying is this. Let's take the gloves off again. I'm tired of people. This whole thing about pursuit of happiness, it's exactly that. But you know what the problem is with happiness? Everybody has a different version of what happiness is. Right. And I think as people, I'll try to be like, you know what? I'm going to get my version of happiness, but it's going to have some of your version, and it's going to have some of your version, because I need y'all to see that I'm happy. And I think a lot of people, that's the pursuit that people are really on. They're not on the pursuit of happiness to get their version. I want to get the perfect version, so when people talk about me, everybody can agree that's what happiness looks like. Yeah, and guess what? It'll never show up like that. That's
jealousy. That's not happiness for you. That's you looking outside and trying to feel, what's inside. Like, to me, call me crazy, but the pursuit of happiness is the happiness for me. Like, it's the journey on getting to that goal, and learning in that, and us not having a distribution deal yet, but we getting there. And that's what we're working towards. And it's enjoying that grind and falling in love with the actual work, which makes you happy in the end, because you have all of this wealth to show for the pursuit. So it's people getting caught up in what other people have done and what they're doing, and comparing it to what they're doing, so much so that they've lost any kind of pursuit of happiness. It's just, I want what she's having.
Yeah. What's your take on people that was in the comments, women that were in the comments saying that, well, that's her standard or her preference. She prefers, and she can prefer not to date a bus driver or somebody who has money. Yeah, she want to have somebody who has more.
Everybody wants to be comfortable. Yeah, that's that. But that's, once again, that's a standard and preference difference. Like, you would prefer to be financially comfortable. Do you need money to live? No, but you need a certain amount. You need a certain amount, yeah. But yeah, you need money to live, in a concept. But there was, standards of living, of course. Now, that's something that can be, accustomed to. Yeah, if I can bring this to the table, you should be able to do that as well.
Right.
That's standard. But preference is having an exorbitant amount of money. Right. Is going on vacations when you feel like it, as opposed to a planned vacation, which are stupid things to be hung up on. Like, these things don't make sense.
Right.
They're delusions.
So when you say stuff like that, what I don't understand is successful women.
Right.
Entrepreneurial women who get it.
Right.
What is their allure? It's because you don't need that form of security or safety from a man, because you have it.
Right.
So what is their allure with having to have a man with more money than them, or a bunch of resources that they already have?
I know the answer, Teach.
Go ahead, please.
I know.
Please go. What you got?
I'm gonna raise my hand for that one. You know why they want the man that has, if they've already secured the bag or securing, but they're almost there and everything else? Because then they fit inside the mold of the fantasy. Because the fantasy, Prince Charming is a real thing.
You have to,
go ahead. You have to bring, they want the person with more. because I still want to be taken care of. And the thing about it is, women put it out there, you're highlighting being taken care of as finances. That's it. Nothing else. See, but like I always say, women wait until their stomach gets full of the money. Then all of a sudden, well, he's lacking emotional stability. He's lacking just understanding. You didn't ask for that. You didn't ask exactly. Right. You didn't ask for any of that. You wanted somebody to pay the mortgage. You wanted somebody to pay the car notes, the insurances, just everything. You didn't want that. When it comes to bills, put this bills. Can you pay my bills? You wanted to hear that song and just laugh at it and just be like, oh, I'm not worried about that. My man paying all the bills. But when that same said man is not available, and I'm not just talking about, sometimes it's physically, emotionally.
Right.
The main part is emotionally. Exactly. That's the main part to me, because I'm not saying he's checked out, but when it's just like, okay, I'm just doing this for this, that, and the third, but I don't have to listen to your nagging. And that's where you get these terms like wife beater, metaphorically. I'm not talking about women getting hit. But look here, I don't got time to listen to none of this shit you talk about, or whatever. And dudes just being like, I don't have to listen to you. Just know those bills is paid for, and you don't have to sit up and get out my face. I don't want to talk or nothing. Well, why doesn't he not talk to me? Yeah, it's cool. He pays the bills, but he doesn't pay me attention. I put on some new lingerie. He didn't even notice me. Yada, yada, yada. That's why I always say women always get the guy that they wanted until they actually get him. They are the masters of careful what you wish for, you will receive it.
Which kind of comes back to my point about, the delusion, or like, women live for when I talk about my man, what does he do? First question, what does he do? What does he do? What does he do? And if you say bus driver, but wait, he owns the bus. But like, what's wrong with a job?
But I find that is like, it may not be 100%, but I find that's synonymous with a lot of black women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We tried to stay away from it.
I was trying to.
Stay away from it,
now that question, I've heard that question from many women of different race, but it mainly comes from, well, what does he do? What's he doing? Right. How's he do it? What does he provide?
Like it's almost like they lead with it.
Yeah. Like, no, it's a sinister. Like, if I say,
this, you know what I mean? And it's never a lead in of, yo, he makes me feel so good.
How does he treat you?
He builds me up.
Right.
He do.
How does he make you feel?
Things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Does he love you?
Yo, my man is the CEO of. He run the. He got a such and such.
It's a bunch of bullshit resume building words, right?
Don't nobody care.
Right.
No, they do care.
No, the women care.
They do care. Yes, the women do care.
Brag.
And so this, like I said, that stomach get full. Because the thing about it is this: the things that they don't highlight. I don't want to keep saying only black women, because there are white women that do the exact same thing.
Right.
The issue is this: I believe a lot of times. Sometimes we've witnessed white women that are dealing with the guy. But let's just call it what it is. We have seen black guys with white women and being like, Cardi be like, why is she with him? This, that, and the third.
Right.
And he may be looking like he doesn't have anything great, and that's subjective, going on for him.
Right.
But for whatever reason, they appear to be happy. I keep telling y'all, I've always been jealous of the bum-ass relationship. The bum-ass relationship.
Zero expectations in a bum-ass relationship.
The bum-ass, this is just how I call it that, because clearly, whatever. Right. When I see two guys, I see a guy and this woman, they're walking like they don't walk the whole borough.
Shit, yeah.
They hopping in the train
I know
together,
the bum-ass relationship,
they McDonald's together. It's not about struggle. It's not about that.
No struggle.
But I'm looking, never mind their financial state. Right. Because clearly, evidently, they're not in those spaces. They meet each other's crutches.
Right.
But they walking down the street, they talking, they laughing with each other, they in the grind together, this, that, and the third. Now, of course, in a vacuum, you would want the finances.
Right.
Do that. But I'm talking about when I see the bum ass couple that I always say, I see them.
Bum ass couple.
I just can't come up with a better phrase.
Like he's romanticizing it, but you're still calling it the bum ass couple. Look at y'all bum asses. Y'all that bum ass love y'all got. Bum ass niggas. Go ahead.
Bum ass love.
Right.
Bum ass love.
They drinks on me, them bum ass niggas over there. Go ahead.
Well, maybe I gotta come up later. I gotta come up with a better term. But I know they're in it together.
Right.
And
the camaraderie.
And the thing about it is, you can feel it. You can see it from the outside.
Right.
And at that point, I don't even care about their finances because I'm just like, they're down for each other.
Right.
And I believe a lot of guys at our core want that.
Like that. Right.
Because, and I keep telling women, and I'm going to say it until it's whatever, the guy that's up is not looking for the woman that's up. We're not saying she can't have a job. We can't say she can't have a business. Right. But if that's all you bring to the table, like that's it, you're okay, let me add my 100,000 to your 50 million. Right. Now we got 50 million and 100,000.
Like what weird ass nigga says, I need my girl to match my grind? Like it doesn't happen.
Hey, yo,
who says that?
Sounds crazy.
It sounds wild as shit. Yo, we don't do that. I don't need you to match my hustle. Like go sit your ass down somewhere.
Like they say in sports though, the best ability is availability.
Availability.
And
right.
If I got it and I'm out here grinding, I need you to be available. I don't need you out here.
I don't. Man, what are you
know
doing?
What I mean? I don't need you. I don't need to have to match our schedules up.
No.
I need to be like, look, I'm coming home.
Right.
Then I need you to be available.
Right. I don't want to call you and compare deals, bitch. Like I want to know what's going on at the house. Like I don't care about what's going on at work. I don't care. Like give me the tea, but like I don't care. Like, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you're achieving. Like just work. Don't get fired. Like that's all.
Yo, it's crazy, but what it does is the things that she said kind of reinforces the attitude of the nut ass nigga from last spot.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he was going to fuck in.
Yeah, he's hurt. Mans was hurt. Mans was hurt.
He didn't understand it. Like, look, I have these things. Why wouldn't you want me?
Good, you're so confusing.
Yeah, like I got the money, the car. Like I have the stuff. Like, bitch, why wouldn't you want me?
Right. What's wrong with me? I think about that Isaiah Thomas clip. He was like, yo, I had all the criteria. I filled or checked all the boxes. Somehow I still didn't get selected.
No, he says no. What made it crazy with him, what made it crazy is when Isaiah Thomas said, he said in the same breath, because he thought he was slick. He said, I don't know what the criteria was, but I know I fit the criteria. I'm like, evidently,
that's the way. That's what Isaiah Thomas that shit to say. Yo, I don't know how y'all was grading, but I know I got an A. I know I got an A on that.
No, like evidently not. Evidently not. And I'm just saying, like, yo, that's the whole thing. So when guys hear the whole ambition thing and all that. No, I never wanted to tell this part of the story because I heard because he said it. I don't even know this dude, but he said some wild shit. We was I definitely was still back in New York. Okay. And it's not even a long story. We were in a van going back. My man Kendu, shout out to my man Kendu. He had a van. We bagged these chicks from Jersey. Kendu he's a good guy, but you know, he has simpish ways with him.
Simpish ways.
Yes. No, because the tunnel is downtown Manhattan, and he was driving chicks to Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
And we was like, now, it wasn't that far.
Some sensitivity in that situation.
The bridge, but we was like, so we in the van. We like, so I get in the van. I'm looking like, hey, yo, we live uptown. Yeah. Why are we going across the bridge? Why am I seeing Fort Lee and we So I'm like, yo, his name, we called him Catmandu because he's a cat for chicks. He's like, yo, cat, where you going? Nah, I'm just going to drop these ladies off in Jersey. We was like, Jersey? Yeah. So we was like, all right. So we in the van and everything. Now, crazy, we knew everybody, but it was like 3 dudes that I think knew him.
Okay.
So we was like, I bet. We was like, yo, fam, what up, that out? But listen, this joint is like the Scooby-Doo van. It's about like 14 of us in it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, nice size.
It's a mystery machine.
So it was chicks in there.
Okay.
And there was dudes in there. Nobody was doing
this nigga was running a shuttle.
Pretty much.
Okay,
so
all right, that's what I'm saying.
So he's driving.
All right. This is a church van. I'm trying to figure out the size on this joint.
It is a church type van.
Because you said something, you was like, you called full, and I was like, oh, this is a big ass van.
Yeah, it wasn't
okay,
right next.
All right, okay.
So anyway, he goes like this. Everybody's kind of paired up a little bit. But even the people that's not paired up, everybody's kind of camaraderie, like, yo, what's going on? Da, 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 da. I'm in the back. I'm in the back. I'm not doing nothing. This is it's no wild story for me. But I'm talking to Shorty, you know what I'm saying? Just arm around her. Yo, what's going on? You know, we going to get up. So this one dude was trying to talk to the chick, but she was being nasty the whole time. Other chicks was like, girl, just chill. They was telling her like, yo, chill, he all right. So she was like, I just don't mess with bum ass niggas. Now, I don't know the dude she called a bum ass nigga.
Right.
That triggered him.
Right.
This dude says, what? This nigga says, yo, she was like, what kind of watch is that? He said, it's a Breitling, bitch. Now, mind you, that's what he said. Now, at the time, I didn't know what a Breitling was.
Right.
And then my man was like, nah, that joint is all right.
That's real watch.
That's real watch. She was like, so, but listen, she's feeding into it. She was like, I only mess with dudes that got money. Now, mind you, she's on this damn van with us.
With the same
Jersey, same thing. I only mess with dudes with money. She was like, so he was like, then evidently you need to be messing with me. She was like, you ain't got, he was like, so you wouldn't date me because da 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 da. She was like, I wouldn't even sleep with you unless you had this kind of money. Yo, this nigga pulled out $1,000 and was like, so if I pull out $1,000, what you be willing to do? And I'm thinking she gonna be like, just ignore him, she shit up. She was like, I don't know if I have sex with you, but I might give you some head. This nigga pulled out the money and said, good, now suck my dick. I said, oh shit. Yo, I was in the back like, yo, this shit was like a movie. That shit was crazy. I was like, yo.
How do you fall for the New York trap and you're from New York? How do you fall into the suck my dick trap?
Yo.
Every New York's favorite trick.
Hey,
yo, when he said it. But mind you, it was like, it was an argument, but it was kind of like, it wasn't an argument because to me, most arguments are over talking.
Yeah, right.
They were talking.
Yeah, it was a good forth. It was a good back and forth there.
That's the only reason why we all was able to be like, oh. Yeah, right. Like, so when he put out the money, I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm like, you got to do it.
You got to suck his dick now. You got to
it boys, of course, nothing happened. But the whole thing was this. When you put numbers to things, when you put out there, you have to do this. You have to have that. You're going to run into dudes. That's this. And I don't think nothing was wrong with Duke because Duke was chilling. Clearly, he had a few dollars. My man Kendall told me about him later. He said, nah, Duke, he be out. He got bread. And he was like, he just didn't drive that
van. Yeah, he just likes the van.
But he said, he was just like, but once she put it out like that, he not going to let you just say anything or whatever. Right. And I say all that to say is like we was kept saying, like, yo, women just got to stop doing this kind of things. And like I said, I don't think women always say we don't check dudes, we don't hold them accountable. I'm looking like I don't believe that to be fully true. But I gotta tell this one because it was Will. This is a Will and he was there.
Okay.
Got a friend. We was out in DC. We got into an argument because I didn't want to give him some gum and some cologne. Literally. That's what it was about. Because I was like, because my thing was.
What kind of bum?
No, listen, the thing about it was this. Will and my other man, they was going out. They didn't go out every weekend. I personally feel when you go out every weekend, it was stuff that you had to have.
Standards.
I knew I had to have my cologne, knew I had to have my gum, have my money. This was before, I started getting a few dollars. So I told the dude no, because I gave him the gum. But I kind of gave him the gum like, nigga, you stopped at the store just like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I gave him the gum. So then when he was like, yo, let me get some smell goods, which is always a funny term to me. I've never heard nobody say that until I came down here. Smell goods. So I was like, nah, B. I was like, yo, you can't be in the spot smelling the same. Will and them start laughing.
Kind of weird. Yeah, it's a funny line. Solid line. It's a solid line. It's a bar.
So then, a joke ain't funny until somebody else laughs.
Yeah, right.
So one of them laughing. Right. So he goes in on me.
Oh, he's hot. Yeah, right.
He's like, yo. He was like, you always talking, you really a bum. Da 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 da. I'm letting him go. Because that's, for me, when I know somebody's getting personal, I let them get it all out before I address it. But like, okay, because you've been holding on to it, or whatever.
Right.
He was like, yo, you really a bum. He was like, yo, you don't make more money than me, such and such. I was like, I don't make more money than anybody in this car. So niggas start laughing then. So that's when he was like, yeah. He was like, real men make money. He's like, I make $19 an hour. Now, mind you, Will didn't say nothing. He told me this afterwards. He was looking like, damn, I expect you to say this. Because Will, that was at the beginning of him started really making bread. And I wasn't making nothing next to Will Bill was making or whatever. So Will was listening, but it was kind of like, I kind of see his face kind of shift like, word. So that's your number?
Right.
So it's like, okay.
Right.
So then he doesn't do that. So he continues to go on me. Yo, all you do, he said, all you do is go to the club. He said, fuck bitches and go on the weekend and play basketball.
This nigga literally said this.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Hold on, wait.
Listen, hold on.
What were his problems with you again? Run him over again for me, please, sir.
He said, go. He said, yo, all you do is go to the club, fuck bitches, and play ball. And he said, you work your little job, making your little $10.70 now. Because I told everybody, because I made $10.70 at that point. Okay. This nigga Will was like, it's quiet because my other guy that was with me, he's my guy. So he don't want nobody to play me. So he kind of just like, nobody wants to fight to do, but they just like corny. Will was like, sounds like a good life to me.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty
good. That was serious, yo. I was in that joint like, wait a minute. Did he really just say this?
That's right.
Like, that sound like the life.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's what everybody wants to do.
Right.
Go to the club, fuck bitches, and play ball.
Right.
And
that's all you do?
This nigga's an NBA star.
Hold up, but the crazy thing is, like Will was saying, but because I don't know if you did say this. Will was like, but he don't got no kids or nothing. Yeah. He was like, these ain't got no kids. He was like, he's taking care of himself. And so when he said his number, I was like, yeah, you make $19 an hour. But I said, you also got 2 kids. I said, I know what math is. So
really make $8 an hour.
So how much you call it? So we get out the cars, because at that point, everybody like, yo, chill. I never was going to put hands on him. I just was like, oh, you showing me.
Yeah, you show me who you are. Your true colors.
So we get outside. We walking. I'll tell you, I'm walking. I see some random dude. I said, excuse me, sir. I said, I don't want to be in your business. I was like, I don't need to know your number, but do you make more than $10.70 at your job? Duke was laughing. He was like, yeah. I said, here you go. I said, you aiming too high. I said, everybody. I said, you aiming too high. I said, I don't think nobody going in this club makes less than me or whatever. But I said,
somehow you still borrowing from me, nigga.
But then the last thing I said to him, I said, don't worry. I said, I'm leaving him because Will kind of tapped me like, yo, just let him go. Right. Because he kind of knew if I kept going, I probably would have been like, and I should just punch you in
your face. Right.
But I was like, don't worry about it. I said, I'm going to still get us in for free. And I said, I'm gonna slide with somebody tonight too, or whatever. Then, but this is what we talking about, entitlement.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Dudes that move in that entitlement lane, they never meet up. They seem to never meet up with the women that's looking for the ones that supposed to have the bag.
Let's start a platform where all these simp ass niggas and overzealous women can meet each other. We should have a meet and greet.
My thing is, the Eboni chick, like she's a smart.
Right, she comes off. Woman. Yeah, she comes off very smart.
And she says a lot of intelligent things.
Yeah.
So
not this.
My question is what she said when Iyanla, and it was a trick question because Iyanla knew where she was going with that. But is it irresponsible for her to double down on it? And I say that to say this. The conversations that we had about, because she has a big platform, and the conversations that we had in the past about chicks talking about they don't want a man with a 9-to-5 and all that stuff.
Same vein.
This is the type of stuff in the media that contributes to that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like Nee said, like the happiest relationships that I see is just two people together just having a good time. They have a regular job and they working towards something.
Yeah.
But it's those are the happy relationships. A lot of relationships where, the man has all the money and it's top heavy, to me, seem like the ones that's a little bit more struggle because in my experience, the man feel a little bit more entitled.
Yep.
Feel like they paying everything, so they run everything. And they get to step out and do. I think D.L. Hughley said it before. He couldn't even understand like how he was hurting his wife by doing the things that he was doing because I pay for everything, I do everything, I take care of you.
I do what I want.
Physically, I'm a protector, all this stuff. So I get to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And it took him until, like most guys with resources, till an older age to realize, like, all right, I say, until they get washed up.
Yeah, right.
We know, we men.
That's what
when we get washed up, we be like, all right, fuck it. All right, I'll chill out. You know what I mean?
Fighting so hard.
Yeah,
Stay in shape.
But is that, I think it's a little irresponsible of her to kind of double down because it perpetuates the narrative. It adds to the media perception of black women, especially young black women that want a guy with vast resources and they can't accept a 9-to-5 guy and stuff like that.
Go ahead, Dev.
It's like it's delusion in mass, and I hate to tap into the hope tap vein, but like all it does is weaken us as a culture. Like when you're chasing like albatrosses and unicorns and whales, when it's plenty of sharks and fish right here in your face.
Right.
But and then one will catch up, and then that's the beacon of hope. And then so nobody can be in a relationship. So it's those kind of things that are just stupid. Like there's no other way to put it. When she goes on and the facts and the realness of it is put in your face, and you still double down with the same kind of delusional bullshit, it's irresponsible. There is no other way to put it.
Right.
Like you have to at that point have a real conversation, come back down to earth and understand the severity of what you're saying, because there are, like, who runs the internet? Young people. And we're molding minds. So if this is what they're seeing, if this is what a woman who of some class, of the way she handles herself and carries herself and is right in this way, if that's the way she's speaking, then that's what they're going to live up to.
The crazy thing is she pulled Whitey trick one-on-one when she was like, I never said nothing wrong with a bus driver. My mother used to drive a bus. I'm like, oh boy.
One of those tricks.
Yeah, she pulled one of those, and she was like, "Yeah, my mother."
Racist, I got black friends.
Pretty much. That's what she pulled. At least that's how I heard it. Yeah, at least that's how I heard it. Because then she was like, "Well, my mother would tell you." She was like, "I'm not saying the people are mediocre. The job is." And I'm looking like, you really can't separate the two.
You can't.
Chris Rock made a comment before. He was talking about life, and I actually appreciated it. He was like, people don't live for what they're doing right there at the moment. He's like, that may not be what you do for the rest of your life, but what you're doing right there, that's what you're doing. That's what your life is calling for right there. He was like, I used to stack chairs. I used to have to open up the bar, clean up the bar, this, that, and third. All these odd jobs before he really hit as a comedian. But he said, I never looked at it as this is the dead end. But he was like, but this is right now where my life is at. You can still do other things, but let's not ignore that this is where I'm at. And it's just, I think, like I said, without going in circles, it's just, I like to sometimes, even if I'm driving or if I'm just sitting somewhere where it's a lot of people populating the area, and I like to guess people's lives. And what I mean by that is this, not on the downside. Yeah. Because I do it because we can get so consumed at what's going on in our lives, and if things aren't going the best, we'll assume that nobody else is going through this exact same thing. Nobody else is even going through a semblance of what I'm going through. So I like to sit there sometimes, and it's all based off of nothing factual. It's just based off the look on their face. So I'll just look. So if I see that person just smiling and such and such, I'll be assuming, they probably got this going on with their life. They're probably happy with this. I'm telling you, one of my favorite scenes, we talked about it before, Boys in the Hood, when Trey got out the car. People, and I want those that have seen Boys in the Hood, look at the scene when Trey, the infamous scene when Trey gets out the car. When he gets out the car, and, the infamous "Doe, let me out." He gets out the car. His best friend was killed early that day. His best friend's brother and his friends were going out looking for the guys that killed him. But he made a choice in life to get out the car because he knew it wasn't about that life. He didn't want to be a part of people getting murdered. He got out the car and he was at a bus stop. Look at the dude that was right next to him on the bus stop. He was the happiest person in that scene. Because everybody, no, I'm telling you, when people see that scene, he had his Walkman on, and I bring that up a lot because that's when I actually started doing the whole judge people thing. People watching thing. Because to me, that was one end of the spectrum to the other end. Yeah. Because this person was having the possible worst day of his life. Because and he was there when his best friend got killed. Right. But this dude, he was bopping. He had his book bag on, his Walkman. You know what I assume for him? He just got off of work. He probably got paid. He probably has some liquor and some alcohol and some smoke. And I'm only saying that because I know a lot of people do it. I don't. It is what it is. But he probably had a plan. He might have been waiting for his girlfriend. When I get home, we going to hang out. But he was having the best time of his life. Right. We don't know how much money that guy made. We don't know if he was getting on the bus, but he was having the best time. He had something great going for him. And I believe that's life. Yeah, man. That's life. That's how you got to look at life. Stop, like you said earlier, we all need to put on blinders at times because we all get caught peeking. Yeah. I know for a fact I do. And I try my best to not, but I definitely be like, what the hell is going on over there? Damn, I'll need more of this, that, and the third. And I know it sounds cliche, but some of the best times that I've ever had is when I've had some of the lowest amounts of money in my pocket.
So I'm doing my IG thing or whatever, and I come across some startling news, yo. I didn't. You might got another candidate for Sicko of the Year. This, Brian McKnight. Oh, yeah. I did not know he was a piece of shit like this.
If I ever cross your mind.
Yo.
Hey, yo.
I'm just saying, I like Brian McKnight.
Yeah, well, apparently his kids don't. He's got you know it a little bit better than me. So
they was frying him on the internet because he made an Instagram post about his stepdaughter's It was birthday. Talking about how proud he is of her and how proud they are of her. But he was basically taking shots at his other daughter by saying
subliminal shots, right? Calling her like the best daughter ever and like shit.
Yes, he said you're the best daughter ever. Oh. In another post, he said, "You the reason why I became a girl dad."
Yo,
and just in general, if you look at his Instagram. It's all all he posts is his stepkids.
Yeah.
And his wife. All he posts.
And he has a son named Brian McKnight Jr.
Yes.
That he just had.
Yes.
But the nigga already has a son named Brian McKnight Jr. Yo, that's the sickest nigga in the world, yo. It's not even
Hold on.
Yeah.
So he has two sons.
Yes.
And he named both of them Brian McKnight Jr.?
Yes.
So hold up. Not like the third.
No, this ain't nothing like a George Foreman situation. This ain't like, it's George and George and George. No, it's like he basically erased his original black son and replaced him with this Filipino model.
Yo.
So he put it in that.
And he's married.
He's married to this Filipino woman.
I think she's Filipino.
Some kind of Asian descent.
Yeah, she might be something like that. But basically, he don't really mess with his other kids like that.
Well, what did they do?
So I don't know.
What did they do?
He raised them.
And a few years ago, I guess it was an interview or something. He was saying that his sons, He was paying their rent. They were adults. I think he got a 40-year-old and like
Bobby Knight's fairly older dude. Yeah,
I don't know, like they like one is like 37 and one is like 20 something or something like that. And then he has another daughter too. That's why the daughter shit was outrageous. He got 4 kids outside of his new kid that he just had.
Right.
So he said that he was explaining how he paid their rent for 2 years. And the caveat or the deal that they had is after 2 years they have to have had a job and to take over their lives, to be adults.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he said after 2 years they didn't do it and he stopped paying for everything. And they kind of wasn't messing with him. That on top of he wasn't too good with their moms and stuff like that.
Dude, if I'm not mistaken, Brian McKnight was a woman fighter, correct?
Allegedly
a woman fighter. I thought that there was he fights women.
Well, he has some domestic violence stuff. Yeah. Some domestic violence stuff.
What did they do?
Huh? Hey, yo. This nigga really likes Brian McKnight's music, obviously.
Nah. First of all, I'm not canceling Brian McKnight's music.
No, okay, all right. We gotta have this conversation. We gotta have it now, okay? This is a conversation that needs to be had, okay? All right. Michael Jackson, R. Kelly. I can understand with how good their music is that we are not willing to fully cancel them, right?
Mike with R. Kelly.
We're not okay. We're putting him with him as far as there is a highly controversial situation about this musical artist.
It's not controversial to me.
Yeah,
He
wasn't. I mean,
me too. But like we don't. Like there are people who want to cancel Michael Jackson, right? For understandable reasons. Just like there are people who want to cancel R. Kelly, right? But there is a level of talent there that we understand. Like, all right, I understand why nigga don't want to. He made 12 Play 2. Like, of course, right? Yeah, he made Thriller. Okay, but Brian McKnight is not of that level. Like, we can just cancel this nigga whenever we feel like how Tory Lanez just like went away. Like how this nigga was on top of the world, and as soon as that conviction came out, like ain't nobody mentioned Tory Lanez's name until like just right now when I said it.
Yeah.
Like, we can do that with Brian McKnight.
I don't think so.
I'm not. You can do that with Brian McKnight. He got
okay, give me the Brian McKnight quintessential slaps.
Back in One, that whole album.
Oh, Back in One.
Yeah, then you forgot he made that, huh?
Yeah, no, I didn't because he's selling it out for like insurance commercials now. Like nigga, just
I didn't like that. Yeah, but it's a bag.
Yeah, it's a bag. It's a bag, man.
Okay, Brian McKnight has keep yourself together for I find myself in you, which was crazy.
Okay,
he wrote Let It Snow. I listen to Let It Snow. I listen to Let It Snow, and it don't be nowhere near. It don't even be nowhere near.
He slides on Let It Snow.
You know what I'm saying? It be nowhere near Christmas, and I will play that.
Drew, you throw on Let It Snow for real, just because of the vibe of it. Okay, I get you there.
My thing is this: he got some allegations that from the past of him. Some domestic violence.
Yeah, it's a woman fight.
You know what I mean?
Woman fight.
But so do a lot of people. You know what I mean? Right. Hey man, stuff happens to people.
We're not to be clear, we're not making light of domestic violence.
No, but we are making a big deal about Brian McKnight's catalog.
What I'm saying is this, okay, clearly it's an issue with him and his first set of kids' mother. Mothers. It's multiple because
he got 4 kids, 2 different baby moms.
See, that's the thing about it. We don't know all the information because I don't believe he's got a problem with both of them.
He don't mess with them kids.
But like this, there's more to the story.
100%.
My thing is this: the fact that he's paying their rents for 2 years.
They was adults at that time.
They were adults.
Big ass grown ass adults.
Grown and entitled. So Brian McKnight is worth $10 million.
Okay.
Now I don't like counting people's money, so when I hear stuff like this is what somebody's worth, I'm looking like, is this all the money they've ever made? Because I don't really know what the network made.
Right
because
now,
my thing is, okay, if Drake made, and we're not going to go there, but if Drake made $100 million last year, he's had the other years where he's made $50 and $60 and $70 million. He's been in for over 10 years.
Right.
But then you look at his thing, he might say he's only worth $180 million.
Right.
And I'm looking like, he's got to have more than that. So I'll be assuming that they're net worth. No, I'm just saying, he's paying their. I know right now. Forget that. If somebody came to you right now, the beautiful house you just finished getting, they said, "Look here, well, you got 2 years, and then you go back to normal." You looking like what? I am up. Bet.
Yeah. Okay.
You will not argue.
So what? Okay. With that being said, right? If somebody came to Will, who's been a hardworking man his entire life, and said, you got 2 years, and then such and such. Okay, that's understandable. But if you've been on a golden teat your entire life, and now it's all of a sudden, I'm cutting you off in 2 years. That's some foul shit.
What? 2 years?
You know how long 2 years is, boy?
Oh, I know how long 2 years is. I know how long 2 years is. But if somebody has been taking care of you your entire life, right? Your entire life.
I get that.
And then now being taken care of means that you haven't built the skills you need to take care of yourself because I've been taken care of this entire time. And now I say to you, you fully grown adult who don't have any skills, go take care of yourself.
Go find some skills.
Yeah, go get it. That's a little fucked up.
For 2 years? Listen, my thing is this. So they've been taken care of their entire life.
Yes.
The problem is this.
Didn't learn anything.
What my assumption is, this was back when he wasn't 50-something years old. So he was on tours, doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Very
so
much
he
so.
might not have been...
Yeah, feeling it the way
Not feeling it, but there. As much. You see what I'm saying? He might not have been there. You
accessible,
sacrificed.
right.
So you can get these resources. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, but my thing is this, it's hard for me to believe that he would just out of the blue just say, hey, you got 2 years. He might have been saying, well, you're going to have to get a job. You're going to have to do something. You're going to do this. One of his sons tried singing. It didn't work out.
Yeah, Junior.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know which one.
I mean, not Junior.
But, I just don't think that was the case. My thing is this, though. They're estranged. They don't talk to each other. Right? And he posts like his Instagram is
it's
nasty.
Vicious, yo. This is some real.
What do y'all mean by vicious?
If you are okay, God forbid, right? You remarry, right? And all of your posts are talking about how happy you are in this marriage. That's some petty ass shit.
Like women do it all the time.
Yeah, and that's what separates us.
I understand.
We don't do shit like that.
No. Okay. No. But his.
Right.
All of them. He posting his wife, his wife's parents. His parents ain't even on the post. He posts. He don't call them his stepkids. He like, yo, my son, my daughter. Like his he just bought his daughter a car for her birthday.
Facts.
She got 2 years on that. She bought it.
Well, but that was the thing about when he was asked about why he doesn't support financially support his biological children. He said because they're grown. But you out here buying Benzes for your stepdaughter.
Is she in school?
She grown as no. She's like a 36-year-old woman. They're the same age. Like these kids are comparable ages.
Oh, so it's not like at the same time.
It's not like well, these are young, Asian children that I've taken under my wing. These are adults, just like his biological children are adults.
I'm not gonna say. I think she doing something though. I think she.
I mean, she's like a doctor, she an expert. It's a gift, but she don't need it.
No, but it's different though.
How is it different?
Because she out here moving and shaking, making me proud.
She gets financial support because she doesn't need financial support.
No, we don't know.
Because she not getting financial support. She got a car.
She has to upkeep it.
She got a car.
He just bought it for her.
Right. So it's like, yo, you a doctor. I can get you a car. Happy birthday.
Y'all niggas are sick.
You're making me proud.
Y'all are sick.
How are we sick?
Brian McKnight bought her a car.
Yeah.
100%.
Brian McKnight is going to take care of that fucking car.
It's a car, bro. She's a doctor.
She's a doctor. She doesn't need a car. She can buy her own car.
Right. That's what a gift is.
That's what a gift is.
Like, yo, I can buy my own watch, but if somebody gives me a watch, I'm like, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what a gift is. A gift is not, hey, let me pay your rent. That's what a gift is not.
That's taken care of.
Facts. That's
you know what I mean? A gift is not.
Facts. You know what?
Pay for everything.
I've been playing devil's advocate. Maybe they just a bunch of shiftless ass, lazy ass niggas.
No,
which brings me to my question.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Is there ever a time where you disown your kids? Is there any reason, for any reason? Is there ever a time? We all have kids.
Mm-hmm. Kid.
Well, you have a kid. I have a kid too.
You have one kid.
So, is there ever a scenario in which you could disown, or anybody should disown their child?
Tyreek St. Patrick is a nigga that should have been disowned. So he's the baseline. If we're gonna go with the worst of the worst kids, like the worst kid of all time, Tyreek St. Patrick. Okay, that's the worst the worst child that has ever been on the face of the earth. Tyreek St. Patrick. Nah, man, I couldn't do it. I don't think there's a situation in the world where I feel like I could, turn my back on my children.
I don't think it's a full-fledged. What do you call it? What you call it? You say disown?
Disown, yeah.
Okay, what you call it? Yeah, disown. A lot of times, the disown thing comes in because it's a buildup of what the mother was doing to the guy. Because this is the thing. No, hold up. This is my theory behind it. A lot of times, because it's easy to women are thinking about when they're talking bad about the father, they putting this energy in the kid's head, and then you're still trying to be like, yeah, it doesn't matter how you feel about him. It don't even matter how you treat him because he's still going to take care of you. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because that's what a man's supposed to do. And a lot of dudes is on you're not going to be trashing me to him. He or she is not going to not be in contact with me, don't know how to reach out. I've reached out. They don't reach back out. They see me texting. I call. You don't return the call. But yet when you need something, because you start turning, your kid, the real question or the whole statement should be, when those are the kind of stipulations and things going on in your household or in your family dynamic, you turn yourself into that stranger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just talk about it, because the whole thing is, look here, I've heard all the time, well, I'm the kid. Yeah, but I don't expect you to argue with your mother, but yes, you're old enough now. At what point you going to be like, I got a relationship with daddy? You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like you don't have to say this, that, and the third. But I think that's one of the weakest things, when the man does that about a woman and when a woman does it to a man. I don't know. I'm not going to cheapen it. There are a lot of single fathers out here that don't get the credit. And the reason why it doesn't get the credit, because a woman always likes to overshadow and be like, yeah, but single mothers, we've been doing this for the beginning of time and all this other stuff or whatever. And I get all that. Forget the numbers at this point. We're just talking about individuals. So when your kid is not responding to you, part of you at the beginning, I believe, you're like, this is his mother that's controlling that right now. But then when the kid gets to a certain age, you kind of like, oh, this is you. Because you can make a choice. You can get in contact with me when you want to get in contact with me.
Right.
Kind of the 50 Cent type thing.
That's literally what I was describing. That's literally what I was describing, what I was saying.
You get all this input from a child, from your mother, who you live with, because I'm out here making a life for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm paying for everything. And then you become an adult and resent me because of the way that your mother presented me to you. You see what I'm saying? That mixed with, I wasn't around enough to combat that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I was out here sacrificing for a better life. You see what I'm saying? So your mother did not work. So you could go to private school and do whatever you wanted to do. You see what I'm saying? So you didn't have to do these things. So my thing is this. So disowning may be a strong word, but becoming estranged from your child, I think that it's always a possibility to become estranged from any family.
Right.
Because people can be toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just a advocate for peace in your life. You know what I mean? I'm an advocate for peace. And But on the flip side of that, I do believe that the adult creates the relationship that you have with the child.
Right.
I think that it's unfortunate, but because you may not have been around, you don't have that equity. Right. You don't have that relationship, that bond with your child that can lead them astray.
But why isn't the word sacrifice a real word? It doesn't have like meaning for real? Because I've heard I guess we're talking about entertainers right now, but it can be for the average Joe too. Mm-hmm. Yo, if I made a life that your mother doesn't have to do these things, this is why somebody was always there to pick you up. This is why somebody was always home. This is why your food, it's not about the money, but this is why I'm one of the main reasons why you had a hot meal on your plate every night. Somebody that was always there to watch you. Just do this, that, and the third. Yes, I could have been more present, but my job or whatever I was doing was more demanding to make that. But that never gets put into it. And then it goes back. We round it back up to once your stomach is full, now is you need to be more of a whoa. But these bills don't stop. You wanted this kind of lifestyle. I sacrificed.
No.
This.
The kid didn't want that kind of lifestyle. The kid.
I said you as the parent.
I understand. Yeah. But you sacrificing. Listen, you know how I am. The universe balances. Yeah. So if you sacrifice and you get all this extreme wealth, something has to suffer.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So your relationship with your child can suffer. You have to take accountability for that.
I can go for that.
Like I was out here getting it for my child, but as a result of that, I wasn't there.
Right.
I don't have the equity built up to speak to my child like it's my child. And they may have been, I wasn't there to combat the brainwashing of the outside entities that's telling them who I am instead of them knowing who I am. You see what I'm saying? So that you have to take some accountability for that.
This sounds like loving basketball. Remember when he was like this, don't worry, you still, in his voice, he was like, you still be able to put your ass in Gucci and Chanel and everything.
Right.
Like, yo, she was like, no, it was a crazy line she said in that joint. You seen Loving Basketball, right? Yeah. When she was like, I'll take a backseat to the NBA, but not for a bullshit front office job. I thought that was a smack in the face. I was like, word? That's when he was like, but don't be fine. He said, Sigga was like, you still be in Gucci and Chanel. I was like, yo, but that's a woman's mentality with stuff.
But it's also a man's mentality with stuff. Men tend to think as long as we taking care of the bills, and long as we paying for everything, then you should automatically, we're entitled to some type of respect. We're entitled to some type of pedestal because we taking everything. We take care of everything.
We don't need the pedestal, but the respect definitely needs to be there.
Facts.
I understand that, but the equity comes in relation. You have to have relation to have a relationship. You see what I'm saying? It comes in being there. Having a relationship with your child is not paying for the bills.
What about this though? Because a lot of women they like to blend the two when it's convenient. Mm-hmm. You bring the child into your sweat equity, as you like to say. Yeah. But then you want to turn around and say, oh, you don't spend time with me. Which one is it going to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't say I don't have time for the family.
So, yes, two things can be true. Right. What I despise is a woman talking bad about a man to their child.
The worst.
Especially when that man is supporting you financially. Mm-hmm. Even if he may be a piece of shit. Let the child figure that out.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
That's fair enough.
Let the child figure that out. Right. Because the only reason that you would do that is spite.
Yep.
That's it. And the only reason that you would have spite is because that man hurt you. Or you still want to be with him. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, listen, what happened between you and him has nothing to do with his relationship with his child. That's why I hate when women don't let men see. I know women who do this. Don't let men see their child because they didn't work out. Right. So you can't come see your child. But then you're to call him a deadbeat dad if he was like, oh, we didn't work out, so now I don't want to see my child. I don't have a child.
I don't have a child anymore. Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's men like that.
It's facts.
You know, it's men like that. It's men like, yo, relationship didn't work out so well. good luck with that kid. I'm on to the next. You know what I mean? And it seems like Brian. No.
All right. Step one, leave the kid with her.
Hey, all I know is, B. McKnight, you will not be getting canceled. So, but spend some more time with your kids, because clearly you spend time with the new ones.
But that's the other thing, though.
What?
Being a father when you are older, more established, and not as he not in the limelight. He not on the road. He not doing this. So he got time for this family.
Right.
It's a different dynamic.
Right.
I was talking to somebody the other day. She's the oldest and she has younger siblings. And she was like, I was there when my parents was broke. And then my youngest sibling is spoiled because he there when they got a little bit of money. You know what I mean? It's a whole different upbringing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the same
totally
thing
different.
with somebody like Brian McKnight. It's a whole different upbringing. I'm in the midst of getting it. I'm a superstar right now who happen to have kids.
He did ask maybe it's very possible that he doesn't even know those children.
Right. Like
it's very possible
not that much.
That he's so in love with this new family because this is really his first time experiencing family.
Because he's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He get, especially this new child.
Right.
He said something crazy. He said, he made a post that said, this is the first time that he had a child out of made a child out of love.
No, Brian.
God, man. This
is a real sicko, yo. It's a real sicko,
the pettiest nigga in the world, yo.
One, the dream come true.
Now I know what all this love stuff is about, right?
Yo, he really started back at one, yo.
Yeah, you started back. Yo, I'm starting back at one.
And on that note, we gonna get up out of here.
Oh, man.
B. McKnight, we rolling with you. Other kids, you had your 2 years. Get yourself together. Ocean's View. See y'all next week.